the Rockets have an epic collapse against the Brooklyn Nets, but the Rockets are on the cover of Slam magazine. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Summit State of Mind podcast, brought to you by J-Bar and Barbecue. J-Bar and Barbecue, Paula's barbecue spot, the best barbecue spot in H-Town, minutes
so good
from Toyota Center. It's me, main event JP, but I got a new guest here. We got our boy from Apollo, Texans, probably one of my most favorite people in the world.
Oh, come on.
My boy, Garrett.
What's up,
What's going on,
What's
man?
going on? Thank you for having me on. I'm a casual basketball fan. I'm all about football, all about baseball, and I'm learning about basketball. But I had to hop on and talk Rockets because the surprise of the NBA so far.
Let me tell you.
I had to get on.
Let me tell you, the Rockets, even though like you said, we're the surprise of the NBA. Surprisingly, we have lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, yeah. The other day when I said I wanted on, I think we were 2-game losing streak. And since we've lost 2 more, Knicks and Nets. So now, and I tweeted last week, the Rockets are an elite team. We're 0-4 since I tweeted that. So now that I'm on this podcast, we might not even make the play-in. We might not even make the play-in. I might curse them, dude.
You know what? I believe in you. I believe in the fact that the Rockets are better than what they are presenting to us right now. Because what they're presenting to us right now is red-hot Basura. But you know what? We have 3 injured guys from the starting lineup. I mean, Şengün just got back. Fred VanVleet is out.
Jabari's still out.
Yes,
He's going to be a massive help when he gets back.
Absolutely. I mean, you're seeing the team. They're not really gelling right now because of the fact that we are missing a huge cog in terms of what controls this team with Fred. But we're going to touch on this Brooklyn game last night. Granted, it was not a great finish.
Crash-out loss. That was a crash-out worthy loss.
It was something that Rockets fans were not very happy about. On Twitter, we all saw the tweets. Everyone's reactions to it occurred. But let's bring it back. That type of close loss is reminiscent of, I don't know if any of you guys or Garrett, if you've seen the 30 for 30 with Reggie Miller versus the Knicks called Winning Time. One of the games, my man has scored 6 points in 4 seconds. And that's kind of what was reminiscent of that. And the Rockets were on the end of that. That was not good. Ugh. First, you got, I believe it was Keon Johnson for the Brooklyn Nets. Hits a 3. And then the Rockets inbound the ball. Leads directly to a turnover. The pass to D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell, of all people, who got traded away from the Lakers, away from LeBron James, to go rot in Brooklyn so he can shoot more.
Yeah, thank you for the reminder. But who turned the ball over when we inbounded it? Because after that, I fully just turned it off.
It was a man? Okay.
It was Amen Thompson, yeah.
I wanted to erase that.
He had 7 or 8 turnovers last night.
Did he?
None of them were very good. It was very reckless. It was just lots of reckless basketball last night.
Yes.
And and honestly, in the last 4 games, lots of reckless basketball. I mean, these are all winnable games.
Absolutely.
All 4 of these games, especially last night. Uh-huh. I thought, I was like, okay, we're going to win this. We're up, I don't know how much, with 2, we're up 2 with a little, I have no idea.
I think we were up by 4 because we lost by 2, I believe.
That's right.
And it was ugly. I mean, you said it best. We've been 0-4. We got swept by the Brooklyn Nets this season, and the Brooklyn Nets are not a very good team. No. They're in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. So, I mean, that's something that's not very ideal for the Rockets. But like I said earlier, the loss of Fred VanVleet is very difficult. We were 0-3 without Alperen Şengün. So there was a lot of moving parts in there, people that have to step in and play. And when that occurs, sometimes it can lead to chaos because sometimes we don't know who's the number 1 guy, number 2 guy. We've had big games from Amen, Dylan, that led to victories, even Jalen as well. But when there's no LP, There's no centerpiece to help slow down the offense. No Fred VanVleet to kind of settle things on the ball, to kind of allow the guys to do what makes them successful. Then you put the ball in Amen Thompson. You put the ball in Jalen Green's hands to be more of a guard that will lead the offense when, in theory, we've all talked about it. It's like, oh, man, we should trade Fred. These are the kind of games you realize, like, we really do need him.
Yeah.
Garrett, like, when you watch this, like, I know that you've seen games in which we won. Watching us struggle, man, how do you feel in terms of, like, seeing the highs to the ultimate lows currently?
Well, it's funny you talk about, like we're watching last night's game and you're questioning who is the number one guy in this situation when in the crunch time, like who's going to rise up. Last night was Alpe. Even without Alpe, and when we're winning games and we'll have like Dylan Brooks put up over 30, against like the Celtics, it's like, oh, well, we never know who's the number one guy. A bunch of guys could be the number one guy, but then last night it's like, wait, who is the number one guy? What's going on?
Yeah.
So, this trade deadline coming up, it's interesting because we could get a number one guy, get our closer.
Yeah.
But watching last night's game, I was just, and credit to the Brooklyn Nets where it's due because they made us play hard.
Yeah.
Made us play really freaking hard. But I was watching last night, I was like, and before Alperen started to really like shake the rust off when he was still kind of rusty, it was very clear. I'm like, someone's got to step up, and no one's stepping up right now. And that was frustrating to see. And I guess that's where the youth might come in as well, because like they get tired and maybe the youthfulness isn't sustainable. But yeah, it was kind of frustrating to see no one really emerge in crunch time last night.
And that's definitely a common issue that we've seen throughout the whole year, because there have been games where it's like Fred is the guy when you close. There have been games where Jalen is definitely the guy. There are games when Alpe is the guy that you're going to go to in crunch time. We've even seen Dylan Brooks have his moments. We've seen Amen have his moments against Boston. And it's really wonderful in terms of the macro view, right? Because you're like, oh, each of these guys know how to step up. But the matter of fact is that when it comes to a team like this, especially a team that wins, there's a pecking order. And the fact that the pecking order is kind of wishy-washy, there's no consistency. And what we really need in terms of closing is consistency. We've won so many games. We went on that 5-game winning streak where we probably had a plus like 10. We were winning games in single digits, like by 1, by 3, by 4. Just all of these games, which they were so close. And I think what's going on now is that we are regressing to the mean. I'm not saying that we were very lucky, because that's not true. We definitely execute as a team. But what happens is that when you're on that ultimate high, sometimes you go on that low to kind of regress just to where you're supposed to be. And maybe at this juncture, this is where we are supposed to be. But let's push past that. Let's not even talk about. Let's wash away that loss.
Scrub it down.
Because we don't want to settle into that kind of a attitude.
No, not at all. Because what we have done, I mean, we've done some special things this year.
Absolutely.
Beating Cleveland back to back, and then going to Boston, and then taking over late in the game. The Amon game and the game winner. We've done some special things, and we've proven we can win. But you're right. These single-digit wins, it's not sustainable, because soon you'll start to pull. Once you get a little cold, you're starting to have those single-digit losses.
Yep.
And then and those bad games, and it starts to pile on a little bit.
Luck is luck, and I'm not saying it's full luck, like I stated earlier, but sometimes the ball bounces either way, and sometimes it bounces your way a ton. Sometimes it will bounce the opposite way a ton, and unfortunately, that's kind of where we're rolling right now. Because it could have been like where D'Angelo Russell missed the 3, we grab a rebound, it's fine.
Yeah.
But he hit it, and there are games in which the other guys missed, like against the Hawks. We had a lucky game where DeAndre Hunter missed the wide open 3, grab a rebound, we scathe away from Atlanta, and then you have games like last night. But I do want to bring up, because of the fact you did mention trade, major news. Earn. Wee woo. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. Shout out to Dez. The Rockets have traded a conditional second-round pick to the Boston Celtics for Jaden Springer and another second-round pick. I don't really know much about Jaden
Yeah,
Springer.
no, I have something interesting to say about him. I don't know anything about him either. So
See, I mean, we're just presenting the news to you here, guys. I understand this is I don't think that this piece is someone that will stay. This may be an attachment to a bigger deal. That's what I wanted to allude to.
Yeah.
Because we did bring up earlier off the camera that Kevin Durant is available and readily available, as the Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat are definitely trying to make something happen in that regard. But there may be some rumors that the Houston Rockets might be into potentially trading for a Kevin Durant or a Devin Booker, which we have heard that Raphael Stone does take a liking into someone like a Devin Booker. These are two Olympians. These are guys that are multi-time All-Stars, gold medalists. Garrett, I know that the Kevin Durant thing is definitely something that is on your mind. The idea of Kevin Durant on this team, barring whatever trade we do make, if that were to occur, hypothetically speaking, he would be the number one piece. Garrett, to see Kevin Durant in Houston, how does that potentially make you feel?
I mean, even with his age, what is he, 35?
He's got to be in his mid-30s, yes.
Even with his age, he's still playing really well. And you put him on the Rockets, and he would be a clear number one veteran over the guys, which that's kind of what we're needing right now. Last night, you know, without Fred VanVleet, without veteranship, like it's a bunch of young cats running around, like just like making mistakes. You know, you need that veteran closer, need that Olympian on your squad.
I like that.
You need the Olympian. You need the USA heroes, the heroes of USA.
Captain America, Kevin Durant.
And I would be okay with Devin Booker or Kevin Durant if the price is right. I guess we could just trade anything. We can trade a 2029 first rounder for Kevin Durant.
The thing is, we have all of Phoenix's picks for the foreseeable future, at least. They have nothing. And for them to try to get, it's been rumored that they're trying to go for Jimmy Butler. And unfortunately, since Bradley Beal is not very enticing, they'd have to let go of Kevin Durant in order to bring him in. And I understand in theory how that may work. It might push Devin Booker to become more of like the number one guy. I mean, he can be. He has the potential. But Kevin Durant on the Rockets would be amazing. And I also believe that he can be had for a cheaper deal if we include one, maybe two picks. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm totally in favor of that. We'd have to have some form of compensation coming back in addition to KD. But I do believe that if KD were to be here, this team would definitely rocket to the moon. I think we could definitely be a second round, maybe even make it to the conference finals for sure with KD.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that with him being the veteran, being the number one guy, there's nothing that you want to learn more from a superstar like guys like Jalen Green, even Cam Whitmore, who plays a similar position, Amen Thompson, and the list goes on for these wings that could potentially learn from one of the greatest of all time.
It would be huge for them. It'd be huge for them because, like I said, they just don't have anyone. They have Fred, they have Dylan.
Yeah.
And Jay Sean's pretty old too. He's like 29. Shout out Jay Sean.
Shout out Jay Sean Tate.
But they don't have a guy who's been there, done that multiple times in all kinds of situations, in the Olympics, finals, all kinds of shit. It's KD, and he would probably elevate us to. We would win. Like last night's game, we would win those games with KD.
Absolutely,
on our team. Like those are the difference. Like those games would be the difference with KD on our team. I just don't know what we would give up, and I hope we wouldn't give up because I look at our squad, and I'm like
core guys for sure. It'd probably be more so like fillers and maybe a Fred or a Dylan. I mean, Fred obviously would make more sense because of the money he's getting paid, but there's definitely an avenue in which you can trade stuff like a Dylan Brooks, a Jock Landale, and a Steven Adams, or you include like Jay Sean Tate and Jeff Green. That can probably get you to closer to $50 million, and that would be
you go for it then.
Yeah, that'd be something that you could potentially make, and then you can add like a first or two. I mean, come on now. Luka Doncic was literally traded for Anthony Davis in a first rounder.
Yeah,
which is complete insanity.
And a few other scraps.
It's obnoxious. Rudy Gobert was traded for 4 first-round picks. Like this is just it blows my mind. Shout out to Stoney, poor guy. I feel so sorry for you, but naturally I don't because it's always fuck Dallas. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Not a fan of the team.
Yeah, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not apologizing.
Just being honest with you. Love you though, brother.
I mean, it's funny that, this is a Rockets podcast and we're trying to talk Rockets, but our conversations keep leading back to how ridiculous that trade is. Because it's just so bad that it's a magnet for any conversation. Honestly, we could be sitting here talking about ancient philosophers, ancient philosophy. It'll somehow get to the 2029 first round pick. What? That's how any conversation is going to end up.
Oh, dude, that itself, that is just the most mind-boggling thing, and it honestly blows my mind. And we found out about this on Saturday after, shout out to Pitch 25, after our Royal Rumble watch party. Thank you to everyone that showed up and showed out. Just all of us at Apollo, we really do appreciate you. Shout out to our boy, the main one, Zilla Fatu, his family, his people. That's our boy. And, we were just really happy that everyone was able to come out, share that moment and all that time with us. We appreciate all that support. Again, thank you. Shout out to Pitch 25. And on that note, let's talk about the next subject, Garrett. So the Rockets were on the cover of Slam. They were. It was Dylan Brooks, Alperen Şengün, Fred VanVleet, my boy Jalen Green.
I want to get that frame.
Oh, dude, trust me. I want that. I want that right here in the office.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you.
It's cool as hell.
But you know what, Garrett? There was one quote that I want to talk about because it does bring up a coach that relates to you and a sport that a sport that you really do enjoy. Mm-hmm. So Fred VanVleet was talking about it today. Well, in the article today that was released today. It wasn't interviewed today. My bad. Don't mind me, guys. I'm fumbling words just a little bit. But Fred VanVleet compared Ime Udoka, who should be Coach of the Year, by the way, Ime Udoka to the likes of a Bill Belichick.
I can see it.
He says it in a way of where it's like, when you're up 10, he feels like you should be up 20. If you're up 20, you should be up 40. Ime Udoka always finds a way to criticize players for something to never feel satisfied. And for a ball knower like you, who watches a lot of football and who is watching some basketball, I would like to know if there's anything you see in terms of similarities in the way that they play, or even in similarities in the coach. I will say this, like the stoic face that Ime Udoka holds, very similar to the face of a Bill Belichick.
Yes, the fear that he instills in his players. Every time he talks to one of the Rockets players, they look away and they just looks like they just talked to their very angry father when they were a child. Like same thing with Bill Belichick. And he, if I was Reed Shepherd, I would be so scared of Ime Udoka because any rookie was so scared of Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
If I was Reed Shepherd, a little 20-year-old kid out of where do you go? Kentucky.
Yeah, he did.
Kentucky.
He did go to Kentucky. Yeah.
Come from Kentucky. Yeah, I'd be scared to death of Ime. There, just that, and also the play style. It is actually the coaching style. It is very similar, in my opinion, because it's very much like we have this formula and we have these guys with certain skill sets. We need to get everyone to do their job, and once we have everyone clicking and doing their job, we are a successful team. Do your job came from Bill Belichick. Mm-hmm. But I know that seems like a very obvious and baseline minimum for any coaching, coaching prospect or process. But Ime can just make it happen with all kinds of different combinations of guys, mismatches, adjustments. He's very smart, very stoic, and he attacks the game plan just like Bill Belichick in the way that like a psycho, like a psycho. He's like a psycho.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I definitely see similarities between those two. Very serious, very smart, very intense guys. Very intense.
I love to hear that because when they talk about the intensity of how he coaches, it's a reflection of him onto the players. Like you saw on the defensive end for the Patriots, you had like a Vince Wilfork. You had their safety, Harrison, for the Rodney Harrison?
Rodney Harrison, yeah.
Rodney Harrison,
yeah.
like players that played very aggressively, like you can go on and on even about the linebackers. Who was that one linebacker that I absolutely hated who'd always intercept Matt Schaub in the playoffs? It was the white dude. I don't remember his name.
Oh, dude, was it Rob Ninkovich?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Rob Ninkovich. Yeah, I remember the way he played. He just reminds me of like just an angry guy on the field who just would just. I don't know if you watched the movie The Replacements, but the linebacker that what's his name played, the director of Iron Man.
Oh, Shane Black.
Yes. No.
John Favreau.
John Favreau, but he did play Shane. Oh no.
Shane Black directed Iron Man 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So John Favreau.
Yeah.
He was a linebacker in that film. That's what I think of when I see these guys play, especially someone like Dylan Brooks, who it's funny because that character, he's really nice and stoic off the field, but on the field he's a psycho. And that's kind of a reflection of Dylan Brooks, who the reason why why Ime Udoka wanted him. And to see the way that they attack the game in terms of execution on both sides of the ball, granted, offense isn't his thing, but the way he attacks on the defensive end just absolutely reminds me of what Bill Belichick would coach on to the Patriots as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a very nice comparison, because Bill Belichick won how many championships? And as a Rockets fan,
a poop load.
Yes,
like
and we were all
year.
fucking sick of it.
Yeah,
you know. But to be good enough to the point where you can win championships and people can be sick of you is kind of the success that you do want. So I mean, just the fact that he's so military-like and his players play with the intensity that is a reflection of Ime on the defensive end, that this team isn't. They're always ready to fight.
Yep. Constantly
ready to fight. And that's like one of like my favorite things to see on this team, because even though the team is young, they're stubborn. And it's like almost like they hate the opposing side. And the one thing that I do miss about old school basketball is everyone hated each other. And that's something that sometimes I do miss. I want everyone to kind of like not be friends.
I don't like sportsmanship. I want everyone to be like fucking losers to each other. Be mean, shit talk.
That's like, the point, man.
A little, get a little elbow in there, man.
Yeah, I know.
Little Lambo. I don't know. But yeah, and also another thing that I saw that I'm now thinking about making a connection with Ime to Bill Belichick. They're no nonsense. Even in the pressers, they're no nonsense. They don't mince words. They're very serious. They say what's on their mind. Mm-hmm. But I think the other day, it was like after the Knicks game, they're talking about Amin Thompson potentially getting Defensive Player of the Month, and he was like, was yesterday part of January against Jalen Brunson? No, like basically calling out Amin for bad defense against the Knicks. Yep. Something Bill Belichick would do. He'd be
Absolutely.
He's like, they played badly. We played like shit. That guy played like shit. I'm calling him out. So there are no nonsense, and also he will make you feel shitty. It's like, I was watching House last night. You ever seen House?
Yes, I have. I watched it.
Dr. Gregory House, MD, likes to shit talk his entire team.
Yes,
and then people will be like, "Why are you shit talking your doctors, dude?" And he's like, you want a patient to die on your table? I don't want a patient to die on their table. When I make them feel like shit, they do it better next time. They do it better and make sure everything's right. So throw in Dr. Gregory House, MD, in the conversation. Well, it's those three.
Can you imagine
the big three? House
in a room?
Oh, dude, to be a fly on the wall in that conversation.
I would love that. It's like a room full of stubborn old men who can shit on the other more at their job.
Just smug guys like who are really smart at their own profession, just fucking shit talking each other.
I know, and then watch them end up becoming like the best of friends.
Oh yeah, at the end of the day, they would definitely be drinking scotch and hanging out and being buddies.
Yes. What I would do just to have a drink with those gentlemen, I feel like that'd be a little bit of fun.
Absolutely.
Just a tad
I wish
bit.
House was real, but
if only.
Yeah.
If only. But let's move forward, Garrett. But before we do, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor, J Bar and Barbecue, minutes from Toyota Center. Make sure to go check them out. On the weekends, Friday and Saturday, we got $2 wells, $5 margaritas every day. And then Saturday and Sunday, we got $16 bottomless mimosas. And you know what, Garrett? I got great news for everybody.
What?
We have a watch party this Saturday. This Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, February 8th at 1:30. The game starts at 2, but I just always recommend everybody show up early.
Show up early and hang out. Get your beer before the game.
Yes, get your beer, get your bottomless mimosas, have a good fucking time, and come hang out with your friends from Apollo Media. We will be there. We're going to be ready to show you guys a good time and hopefully get a win over the Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving-led Dallas Mavericks. Like, hearing that.
What'd you say? What? Anthony Davis? What?
That's a little funky. That's a little funky. You know, it's a little
Stinky. I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the city of Dallas is a little stinky, but you know, it's worse. San Antonio. Shout out to San Antonio. Not a fan of you guys.
Houston, the only city in Texas.
There you go. But we got another game coming up. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves the Rockets playing the Minnesota Timberwolves in Minnesota tomorrow. The Rockets are on a 4-game skid. And Garrett, I'm going to ask you right now, how do you feel going into the game?
I know we'll make it close.
We always do.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We just, and I don't know if Fred's going to play or not.
I don't think so. I mean, they say it's day-to-day, week 2. Usually when they say day-to-day, that typically means like a couple-week injury. I mean, they use the same vernacular when Tari Eason got hurt. It was to a point where they first stated day-to-day, and then it became like, oh, we're going to go week to week. And that's kind of where my concern stems from. So
I'm going to trust that we'll win. I'm going to trust that we'll stop our skid. Because you got to think that was the scariest locker room of all time after that loss with Ime in there. Yeah. I'd be shitting in my pants. I'd be shitting in my basketball shorts if Ime was talking to me after that loss. So I'm gonna trust that Ime is channeling that inner Bill Belichick, inner Dr. House to get these boys fired up because
there you go.
We can't lose anymore. Like it's got to be like. 4 games in the West that's tough.
It's a fucking bloodbath.
5 games.
We went from second to third. I think we're like a game or two back. We're 2 games back of Memphis, and then I think we're a game or 2 in front of Denver. One game in front of Denver. So there's a lot of things. But on that note, we are going to do the Texas Trinity 3 keys to the game. We got Kenny here too. I'm going to have Kenny do one Trinity. So, Garrett, what we do here is we have 3 keys to a Rockets victory. And since Kenny is here, we will each give a key to what we think the Rockets will need to do for victory.
Okay.
So, Garrett, since you are the special guest, we'll let you go first.
Okay.
What is your key to which the Rockets need to do in order to have a victory against Minnesota?
Cut down on the turnovers, man. God. The reckless turnovers. I
love
Cut down on them, man.
I love that.
I mean, Amon, I think I mentioned it earlier, Amon had like 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen always has a few. Like, just cut down on the reckless turnovers. Just slow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to, like, there's just been a lot of reckless basketball, and the turnovers are a part of it. Just cut down on them and just try to play more cleanly. That's
a very fair statement because, you know, like when you keep the ball and you're not turning the ball over, it definitely leads to more shots, more opportunities at the goal, and more opportunities to score, obviously. So, I mean, I get that. That's exactly what we want. My key to this game is aggression. You know, I do want to see the guys play a little bit more aggressive, drive to the bucket. I do understand that Jalen does not get many calls going into the paint, but I do want to see Jalen take over just a little bit more, drive to the paint, play a little bit more aggressive, and get to the line. We got other guys. You got Cam Whitmore, who's not afraid to shoot the ball. Alperen Şengün, who had 24 and 20 last night. Amen Thompson had a bit more of a pedestrian game, but I do think that the team will bounce back. And I think that Ime, like we said before, lit those boys up. So I think that with him, it'll be definitely aggressive. And they'll need to be aggressive. All right, Kenny, what is your key to this game?
Oh, gosh. Which mic do I take?
You could use that one.
I'll use this one right here?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I'm going to let you go.
All right. So we're going to let y'all cook. I appreciate the points. It's great points all the way. By the way, my son is still out, Jabari Smith Jr. We know Jabari's out. We know Tari's out. We know Fred's out. So let's keep it simple. 4-game skid. Just win, baby.
Just win.
Just win.
Al
Just
Davis.
win. Let's keep it simple. Just win. Beat the skid. Get it forward. You know, make sure that we are where we need to be. Get the win. Start racking up wins, which is what we need. And go into Dallas, That way we can whoop some Anthony Davis tail. I can't believe that's in the same sentence.
We were talking about that.
That's
like,
a little.
crazy.
I know. I heard it's absolutely insane. So look, just win, baby. Once we get there, once we get this first win, I'm telling you, it's gonna start racking back up. We should be rising up to the second seed soon enough. So I'm not worried.
It only takes one, baby.
It just takes one.
It just takes one good
That's
win.
what I need. See, I need that Garrett positivity in my life. Let's go. 3 keys, baby.
There you go. I love that. You know why? Because you said we'll be in this 2 seed in no time. The cream always rises to the top. What did the Macho Man say? I am the cream of the crop. Oh yeah. So that's.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
That
was pretty good. I wasn't expecting it to be that good, actually.
That was really good. I had to pop for that too. Garrett, whoa, that was awesome. I loved it. I mean, Kenny knows I love to do my Macho Man imitation. I'm sure you guys are probably just like, why are these guys talking about this stuff? We are wrestling fans. Relax. Okay, guys? We love you guys. But, we like to have fun too. Come on.
Well, let's have fun, man.
There you go. But anyways, guys, before we go home here, Garrett, please let the people know where to find you and your show. Let's push everything about you, my friend.
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Garrett Has Fun, because I like to have fun, as you should as well.
Damn right.
Go follow Apollo HOU, obviously, because on there we have this, Beyond the Diamond, and we have my Texans show, me and Noah's Off the Gridiron. We talk about Houston Texans. We love football. We love all kinds of sports around here, so please go check it out. Go check out all of our stuff. We love to have fun. We love ball.
There you go. We're just all ball knowers here at Apollo.
It's just genuinely just a big company full of ball knowers, dude.
You already know. But everyone, make sure to follow me over on all socials at JP_Mirabueno. Make sure to follow the podcast on Twitter at Summit, SOMPOD. Make sure to follow the Instagram at Summit State of Mind _POD. And make sure, like what Garrett said, make sure to follow us on all platforms at Apollo HOU. And everyone, please, before I even forget, I had to do it. Make sure to super kick that subscribe button over on YouTube. We are at 13.8K subs now. Can we get to 14? My goal for everybody that watches this, by Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, can we get to 14K, please?
I think we can.
Can we get
We
to
need your help.
14K?
Come on.
I would love for everyone, even those of you guys that that have just watched us for the first time. It's really not that difficult. Just push the subscribe button.
It's just a clip.
Like the clip. Comment on us. Talk about Garrett and I's mustache. You can comment on my headband. It doesn't even matter. Just give us and tell us what you think. And you'll see this before the trade deadline, but we won't record again until after. So if anything does happen in the trade deadline, light us up. If we do get Kevin Durant, I want to see a bunch of likes on the episode, honestly. But anyways, Garrett. So we do a word before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
We usually hand it off to DJ. But you remember what was the word that everyone was cheering for?
Of course, I remember.
What was the word, sir?
Yeet.
There you go. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Yeet. Thank you.
Watch Rockets. Go Rockets.
I love that.